Facebook. Good evening. How are we tonight? We're at home on the computer. So we'll get a few people, a few minutes to get on so we can get the viewership happening. So we can get as many people on here to join the conversation as possible. So let's get a few minutes. We'll try and get some shares happening. So guys, if you are on, I'd love a little share, a little comment. Let me know where you're from, where you live, what you're doing right now. And also, please, I'd love to hit the share button just so we can actually get a lot more people joining us on this conversation. All right, so tonight, what I want to do tonight is I thought we've talked a lot about the technical side of tenders. So we've talked a lot about what have we talked about? What is a provisional sum? We've talked about what have we talked about? We've talked about a lot of different topics. So tonight, what I wanted to do was I wanted to simplify it a lot because we spend a lot of the time on all the technical aspects of a tender. We spend a lot of time talking about, you know, the really, really fine detail side of things, but a lot of the time, the simple things get forgotten. So tonight what I wanted to do, and over the upcoming nights, and this is, I'm going to make it a little bit of a trend over the next, maybe for the rest of the year, there's not many weeks left at the end of the year, we're going to simplify tender talk back down to the rawness, because we spent so much time talking about technical side, is all these little things that actually do mean a lot, that, you know, they get neglected. Now I'm talking about things that you may not realize until you actually move into your home, and you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that? You know, because let's face it, your home, you're going to be living in it. You're going to be spending, you know, the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, 20 years in this place. Now, if you haven't considered the small minor things, then, you know, it could just cause you a little bit of headache later on. So just a bit of a recap for the people that are coming on board now and joining us. So just a bit of a recap. So what I want to do tonight is talk about the simpler things, the simpler part of the tenders. Not so much always worried about the finer detail side of things. So in saying that, a few more minutes, we'll try and get a few more viewers on here, and then we'll get into the conversation. All right, so now, thank you for joining me. I'd love to get a share. Guys, if you feel like you know someone who's interested in getting a tender, someone who's interested in building, someone who's in the process of talking to builders, someone who's unsure of aspects of the tender or the part of the build they feel like they need a bit of a help on, tag them in the comments below and please share it with them, because we can create a place here where people can feel free to come and have a chat. So tonight what I want to talk about is the simpler parts of the tender. Now what do I mean by this? These are the parts that aren't so technical, that are not going to cost you a lot of money, but it makes your living a whole lot more easier. Now, let's say for example, what I want to talk about tonight is garden taps. Now you say, well, who cares about garden taps? Well, a lot of these type of things, they really get missed because they're not so important. But it is important because you might love your garden. And let's say, for example, you skim over the part of your tender where it actually says how many taps are included and where they actually go, because you just think it's not really an important part. And you might only have one tap on your home, and they put the tap at the front of the garage. Yes, great. So what do you then do when you want a tap at the back of your home? Now, this is something you're just like, oh, something so simple as a positioning of a tap, you know, it's going to put a downer on your whole experience. Now, That's why I wanted to bring it up tonight, because a lot of these topics, a lot of the nights, all we do is worry about the fine print and all the technical sides of a tender. And that's well and good, because a lot of people spend so much time going over that sort of time. So what I want to try and do now, I want to try to bring awareness for people to, yes, that is important for you to go over the fine print and understand the tender in depth. But I also want you to take a minute and step back and have a look through the tender and actually make sure that you get everything you want. Because at the end of the day, this is your new home and you want to make sure you move into a place that you're happy with, not find out later on down the track that you should have put this here and you should have put that there. So for the guys that are coming on now, we are talking about the simple parts of your tender. I'd love for you to be able to share this with all your friends and family, because I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to be able to join in this conversation with us. So if you do share, give me a shout out, let me know, put in the comments below, say you've shared it. I appreciate it. So back to the garden taps. Now, if you go at the back, you want a hose. Something simple as not having a tap in the right position. So just very simple tonight is I just want to make sure that everybody actually goes back and reads through the simple parts of their tender. You can spend hours and hours and hours actually going through all the legal jargon of the tender and not actually really work out what are some of the smaller things that you actually want. Yes, you spend some time in comparing, does this house have a 900 stove? Does it have a 600 stove? This and that. But you really, really need to just look at the smaller things in your tender. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me on another live episode of Tender Talk. As always here, we want to try and get as many viewers as we can live. So I would really appreciate it if you tagged someone in the comments below and share this, whether or not you're watching this live or back. I'd love for you to share it or tag someone who needs to know about this content. If you have any questions or anything you want me to cover, any queries in your tender that you're unsure and you want a bit of general help and advice on, I'd love to be able to help you out. So please reach out to me. You can always send me an email, or you can comment on any one of my videos or send me a private message on Facebook. I'd be more than happy to help you. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this live tender talk. Telling me my connection is weak. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.